talk about the Stayers Hurdle on the Thursday. And Leon, if you could just give us a breakdown of the market there. So Super Sunday leading the way at the moment. Is that still the case?
He is, and I'm going to push him out an extra. I think I'm going to go industry best price because Robbie's our racing ambassador. We'll go 9-2 on Super Sunday. I think if you look at this horse,
all the way from 4 to 1.
All the way from 4 to 1. Industry best head. Industry best. But I'll tell you what, about this horse. He just seems to be getting better. And he's by Galileo. I think if there's any bit of good in the description on Thursday, I think he's going to take an awful lot of beating. But it's a very, very competitive race, to be fair. Jan Worth going back over hurdles. Sam Spinner has done nothing wrong this year. You've got the last year's Albert Bartlett winner, Penn Hill, in there. Bacardi's. A horse I think is overpriced. And I mean, Ted has called a couple of horses monkeys. I think this fella is Lamy Serge. But one of these days, I mean, he's a 12-1 shot.
Won a French champion hurdle.
Yeah, he did. And I'll tell you,
second in the long walk.
He's got some decent form in the long walk. As you said, he was second in the county hurdle. So, I mean, he always runs a big race. He probably finds one or two too good. But I think at 12-1, he's overpriced each way. But I think if it's any even good to soft in Cheltenham, it'll be perfect for Super Sunday. I think he's going to take an awful lot of beating. Okay,
Ted, just you watch Super Sunday before we get Robbie's thoughts. Super Sunday, first of all, at Christmas, he obviously just came up short against Apples Jade. It was a cracking race, and Davy Russell gave Apples Jade a brilliant ride to get up and beat Super Sunday. And then at Christmas, over 2 miles back in trip, he beat Faugheen to win the Irish Champion Hurdle. What do you make of his chances?
He's a big chance. He's a winner of a Coral Cup last year. Jesse and Puppy, I like what he's doing, and he's a great chance. I think if he beats Sam Spinner, he'll win. I think it's they're 2 horses. I like that Sam Spinner. He goes a good gallop, he jumps and he stays, and I think he's a big shout. But I think Super Sunday likes the track. He's won there last year. And would he mind very heavy ground?
Yeah, if it got heavy, he'd be in trouble. He would, yeah.
Then again, to see, I'd wait again. If I wouldn't be backing him until I see what the ground is like. I mean, today is Tuesday, it's a whole week, or Monday, it's a whole week to the first day of Cheltenham. Backing horses that the ground is going to vary. We don't know what the ground is going to be like. And having a few quid on today and your ground changes against you, I think it's throwing money away. And bar you have a horse that doesn't mind what the ground is like. But as a Puppy says, he's going to be better on good ground. Why would you back him not knowing what the ground is like? If the ground is quick, Sam Spinner won't like it too quick. So that could change your mind.
Johnny, what do you think, before I get Robbie's thoughts on the favourite, because he'll be on him obviously, is there anything that you like in this? We've got Janvert obviously goes for this. Alan King feels he can win it. He beat Super Sunday at Aintree last time out. The new one we think is going to go for it. We know Apples Jade is 99.9% going for the Mayor's Hurdle. Bacardi's is there for Willie. Old Guard for Paul Nichols. Who do you like?
Yeah, I think Super Sunday is one of the most ground reliant horses of the week, just over the trip, because I think 3 miles is probably as far as he wants to go. If the ground is soft, I wouldn't fancy him. Genuinely wouldn't fancy him. I think if it's the similar ground he got in the Coral Cup, I think he's a great chance. And interestingly enough, a lot of people don't think he gets 3 miles, but he got the trip well in the Coral Cup. And Jesse was saying last week that when he ran behind Janvert at Aintree, that he wasn't really himself that day. I think he gets 3 miles. I just think it'll tax him on the ground. I couldn't really have Janvert with the profile. I think they're probably right to go back over hurdles, but it's asking an awful lot in this company. Penn Hill hasn't run since he won, since he ran in Punchestown. The vibes have been very negative about him all year now. They seem to be a bit better now. It's asking an awful lot of him. Ted is sweet enough, and Sam Spinner, I think he's the type of horse you want for this race. I think he'll just gallop and stay. But I think Robbie will be on the bridle jump in the last, and if the weather gods are slightly in his favour, he just seems to be in a very good place this year, all the vibes as well. And like the day he was second to Apples Jade, I didn't think he enjoyed making the run at all that day. He just didn't seem to be concentrating, and he still ran an absolute blinder. And to beat Faugheen, even whatever Faugheen was, you can make a case for some horses underperformed, but he beat Mick Jazz, he beat Mellon, he beat Faugheen over probably a trip shy of his best. He looks basically to be an improving horse. He looks to be in the best shape of his life, and on goodish ground, I think he's a great chance. Okay, so Robbie, just talk to us about Super Sunday then, because I backed him in the Supreme. I think he finished 5th in the Supreme, then obviously the Coral Cup, so he does enjoy Cheltenham, and he does by all accounts seem to stay 3 miles. What's been the difference between him this year, do you think, and last year? Because Jessica says he is a better and stronger horse this year.
Yeah, he is. Look, I've often heard Aidan O'Brien talking about Galileo's getting better with age. He's by Galileo, and he just seems to be getting better with age. I mean, Aideen Byrne rides him out at home every day, and she can't get over. He's the same horse this year as to last year. Last year he didn't want to go down to the gallops. He had to kick him everywhere and slap him. He didn't want to work. He did nothing. And then he went to Cheltenham, and he gradually in the spring he started to get a bit better. He won the Coral Cup. He went to Aintree. He never travelled again. He'd just gone over the top. But he's come back in this year. He ran a lovely race first time out in the Hatton's Grace, was third behind Appleshade and Nicholas Canyon. Went on then to Christmas, and I still feel at Christmas, if the last hurdle had been in, and I agree with Johnny, he didn't like making the run, but if the last hurdle had been in, it just would have focused him a bit better. I think he would have beaten the mare.
All right.
And she's odds on for the mare's hurdle, and he was giving her £7 as well.
Yeah.
And then just the plan with him was to go to the 2 mile just as a prep race for the stairs to sharpen him up a little bit, because he doesn't do anything in a hurry. He needs sharpening up, and I just couldn't believe that day. Bit nicer ground, the way he travelled, the way he jumped. And when Fahim Quicken turned in, he quickened a bit behind him, and I knew when Fahim wasn't getting away from me that I'd outstay him.
Get there,
and he's just it's unbelievable the way a horse can change for the better in the space of a year. It's just he's an amazing horse, and hopefully now he gets good ground, because as the lads are saying, and I know better myself, if the ground is very soft, he will be vulnerable. But if he gets good to soft ground, he'll be fine, and it'll be fresh ground on the Thursday, the new course. He's a massive chance.
Ted, just on Gordon's, obviously it's Michael O'Leary and Eddie O'Leary's decision to run Appleshade in the mare's hurdle. Like, as a trainer yourself, would you rather see them go for the best races and take their chance, or just go for the ones that you can win? Where do you stand?
I'll go for the ones you can win. They're grade ones, unless you're dodging the champion hurl or the Gold Cup. All the rest of them are grade one, whether it's the stayers hurl or the mare's hurl. It doesn't make any difference. It's a grade one. It'd be different if the mare's hurl was a grade two. It's nearly worth the same money. Winner at Cheltenham, I wouldn't. I'd say you'd be crazy in it. Going, what would you be running them to take on them when you're going to have a great chance of beating the mares and the mares hurl? It's a championship race. It's a mile. It's a grade one mares race. Do you know what I mean?
It is, yeah, and it's a great race to have in. The only way you'll get the best mares running in these better races, the champion hurdles, the stayers hurdles, and them races, if you put a rating cap on the mare's hurdle, for a mare above a rating of 155 couldn't run it. Then she'd have to go and take on the lads, and getting £7.
Yeah, well, the right thing to do would if it had no mare's hurl, and then she'd have to run the champion.
Yeah, is that something
but that's not going to happen, because the breeders determine what's going to happen in racing.
Okay.
They want all these black type races and promoting the mares, and it's probably a good thing for the industry for selling them. But for us to look at it, the purist, you love to see the best taking on the best. Dawn running the champion hurl. I mean, if you had the mare's hurl there in Dawn Run's time, she never would have ran the champion hurl. She probably never would, and they'll be looking for a mare's Gold Cup in another few years.
I'd love to see Appleshade running this race, Johnny. No,
it's a big problem though, what Ted is saying there. Like, you know, I wasn't around for Dawn Run really, but you look back and what that meant to people, like, and you look at Annie Power taking on, like, depriving the mares of the chance to run in against the males is not good for the general health, because people love mares in racing, and like this. The mare's hurdle is really it's not really much of a race. If you took her out of it,
the other mare's race, novice hurdle.
Yeah, well, that's a joke altogether. But there are far too many mare's races, in fairness. But
look at Quevega. Like, I mean, you wonder how good was Quevega, because she won the mare's hurdle like time in, time out. But like, you'd love to see her up against.
She won the stairs hurdle at Punchestown too now.
Yeah, she did actually. Yeah, she beat Volleyball of Death, did she? I think.
But if you leave the option there, people are going to take it. Human nature being what it is, if it's an easier touch, that's where you go.
I don't disagree with the O'Learys, but I don't think the race should be there.